What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the weekly update. And I woke up from a nap. I'm exhausted. It's been one hell of a few weeks. So just getting right into it in terms of if it's your first time here, the purpose of this is just me sharing with you guys updates of what's happening with the businesses, whether it's through EmeroyTV, myself as a dancer, Temper Tantrum, Vision Paradox, or Ochacha. Starting off with EmeroyTV. Last week, strong, really good progress in terms of reactions. I think I maybe have about 20-ish left. Unfortunately, this week I haven't been able to edit at all. This is actually the first time I've actually been able to sit in front of a computer this whole week because I've either been on set or filming or rehearsals. So, and it's actually kind of nice to sit down and kind of just be here. But this week's been very demanding. But yeah, last week managed to make progress. This week minimal progress due to being on set again, like all this other stuff. But I did manage to film a couple more for World Street Woman Fighter this past Tuesday evening with Max and Lauren. We managed to get through part of episode 6. These episodes are really long, man. So and then we film these hella late at night after Lauren gets out of work because I want to film at least some of these episodes with Max, myself, and some other person. And Max, Lauren, and I started this whole Street Woman Fighter series together, and I want to keep that going and have it between the three of us. Other things in terms of for EmeroyTV, Max and I filmed a couple podcast episodes for Awkward Tea Party that'll be released like in a couple weeks or so. So the primary thing I'm going to be trying to focus probably tonight or tomorrow is trying to get the World Street Woman Fighter episodes out because I'm trying to keep that streak going on for the Patreon. So if you're not on it, head on over if you like Street Woman Fighter. It's a Patreon exclusive, so head on over. Your support helps this channel a whole lot. Moving on to Temper Tantrum. This past Sunday, also for Temper Tantrum, was rehearsals, just getting ready for Alhambra block party. So if you happen to be in Alhambra on September 6th, come through, watch us perform, and then maybe come take class with us. In terms of other things, retreat was canceled due to scheduling conflicts, and it was really kind of on us not being clear that retreat was a mandatory thing. I think it's we only do it once a year, and it's one of the most impactful things we do in terms of team building, in terms of people really kind of understanding what we're about. I personally like doing the retreat because my whole, I guess, thesis on it is like, who are we as a team once we remove the commonality of dance? How do we work together? How do we better collaborate? And they already work great as a team in terms of dancing, but there's a level deeper than that I've seen from all the different teams I've led that is achieved once they do the retreat. And it's not just like we're better dancers. It's like we become better communicators. We're a little bit more empathetic to each other, and we, essentially create deeper bonds in the community and like that type of shit. So, but it's what has made, in my opinion, the teams I've led different from the other teams that I've been on. So, with the retreat canceled, the main thing that we're trying to do now is like what's the minimum viable thing that we can do. Aside from that, because since we've deferred it to next year, we're looking to aim at least just a, I guess, quote unquote bonding day, low pressure, no like team building activities. We just and optional where we kind of go out of LA and we just kind of do something. There's a couple options we have in mind, and there's a couple dates we already have like people voting on, but still have that to lock down. This past Sunday was Temper Tantrum Versus, which is the School of Rock episode. There's a segment that we do on Temper Tantrum called Temper Tantrum Versus, which is essentially the members of the company take on a challenge that they've never done before. Whether some of our challenges are playing against a professional basketball player, which means learning how to play basketball and then going up against a basketball player. And this one was learning how to play an instrument, but not just play an instrument, learn how to play in a band, and not just learn how to play in a band, perform in front of an audience. This is probably the most we've ever pushed in terms of the idea, not just in terms of like performing in front of an audience, but the most we've ever done in terms of filming, the most dancers we've ever had involved. And it was great. I had a lot of fun doing this. It was something that we never thought we would do. The original idea was like we just come take like fucking piano lessons, drum lessons, and then like we learn how to try to learn how to play a song by the end of the episode. But this one was definitely supportive in the hypothesis I have of like people really show up, and when there's stakes, they either hide away or they really step up to the plate. And then once they know there's stakes, most people will put in the extra effort to try to at least meet the bare minimum of not looking like a fool. The members definitely stepped up above and beyond to really beyond what I would have imagined. They not just took the assignment, they ran with it, took it over, did it again, and they got the song that they learned, and I'm super excited to share this with you guys. In terms of Emeroy the dancer, this or just me as the person has been fucking busy. Last Friday the 22nd and the 23rd we had rehearsals from 4 p.m. to 12:30. Following morning on the 24th, 9:30 to 1 was rehearsal with Temper Tantrum. Right after that later that day, had to go to went to the studio to set up with the Vision Paradox crew to set up to film Tantrum Versus. So it was a very, very, very packed 3 days. Like coming from a late night rehearsal, going and getting right into work, and then as tired as I was and still am, I'm fucking enjoying the process. The main thing I'm trying to do right now, to be honest, is get a little bit more sleep, because I had another late night rehearsal last night at Six Flags, and I haven't been this sore in a long time, so I'm probably gonna let myself sleep in a little bit tomorrow before filming with another client. So 2 other opportunities as well. This Saturday I'm gonna be backup dancing for a music video for a music artist I'm choreographing for. I did the choreography today and sent it over, and then sent the walkthrough to the other dancers. And the other opportunities I might be doing some judging and potentially teaching at conventions. So fingers crossed, I got a couple meetings with them next week, right before I go back into rehearsals, because next week 3rd, 4th, 5th late night rehearsals. 3rd and 4th, I think 3rd, 4th, 5th, one of those, or 4th and 5th are from 6 to 3, 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. And then on the 5th, same thing, 6 to 3. And then on the 6th, I have a performance with Temper Tantrum at 3:30 p.m. And then right after that, Lauren teaches, and on the 7th, we pick things back up. We have another project that we're doing with Temper Tantrum called the Choreo Lab, which is something I'll explain another time, because I don't want to get too much into details right now, because it's a really cool concept and I want to do it justice, but I'm super excited for that as well. In terms of recovery and all the craziness that's happened, the main thing that I focus on, that I aim to fight for when there's not much happening, is like I want to make sure that I get enough sleep, that I can recover properly. That obviously the main thing for proper recovery is sleep, because it's both a physically demanding thing when I dance, but also a mentally demanding thing when I'm working on set or working with clients. And the other ways I recover as well is recovery protocol that I've kind of set up based using heat and cold. I go to the gym. My recovery process is in, I'd say, 4 steps. It's 12, maybe around 15 minutes in the sauna, then 5 minutes in the pool, since they don't have ice baths there, and I don't want to fucking set it up here because the space is small. Then 15 minutes in the hot tub, another 5 minutes in the pool, wash up, and then head back home. Really helps out in terms of using heat and water to help recovery. It's definitely helped with a lot of the sore days as well. And today is one of the sore days, but unfortunately, I do not have time to go do that whole recovery protocol. Maybe tomorrow after filming. But the main thing that does make a difference is sleep. Sleep is the difference maker in recovery. In terms of Vision Paradox, this past Tuesday and tomorrow, filming with a client, our comedian client. This past Tuesday, we focused more on doing more reaction stuff. Tomorrow, we're going to be actually experimenting with a new format that I think will be fun, and I think it's going to kind of just break the routine of what we've been filming. And I think we're at a point where we can experiment with the content the hypothesis with testing the new format with the client is that we're already currently putting out podcasts and reactions. I think very, again, low cost, I guess, quote unquote, low effort, but I think high impact for reach and consistency. I think we have a lot of that already. Now we want to experiment with what type of content will work in terms of what else can we explore. In terms of other things we were filming, Vision Paradox was heavily involved with temper tantrums. School of Rock filming is essentially me, Max, and Joey. It's probably the farthest we've stretched in terms of what we can do in terms of filming. I'd say one of the most. It's nothing. It's different from like a documentary, different from like doing a music video shoot, because music video shoot, we can storyboard, we set the lights, we get the talent to do what we need. But this one, in terms of was close to, it's a challenge video. So it's essentially reality TV, and the common ones I see, like in terms of YouTube challenge videos, are just like one or two cameras and maybe three, and we cut away between different takes. The most involved I've seen is like Mr. Beast, in terms of like maybe in Beast games where they have like 100 cameras. I'm exaggerating, but they have so many cameras for max coverage, and then we really pushed ourselves in terms of trying to get them as much coverage as possible. And this was a very contained space. Like it was just essentially at two recording studios, and just making sure that we capture everything. So we had it might not be a big deal for some, but for us I think it was a big deal because we've never pushed it as far as we could in terms of our technical abilities or having to use all the cameras or all the audio equipment. And I personally think it was pretty cool to see everything that we have in the arsenal being used. All the cameras, all the audio equipment, everything to make sure that we don't miss a moment of what's happening. I think that's one of the things that stresses me out with Tantrum Versus, is because when things are happening in the moment, it's hard when you're just one person focusing on the one thing, and then something happens here, you have to cut, you have to look. That's why having the different cameras for max coverage helps. So in each room we had at least four cameras in each corner, one drummer camera, so that way they can see the perspective of the drummer, and it's not being covered by the whole kit, and a couple backup mics in case anything happened. Every person had a lavalier mic. So yeah, and it was cool. I had a lot of fun doing that, and it honestly, it was a blast setting that up, and it was just the three of us trying to keep track of everything. I think for the three of us handling that, I think we did great. There's two other people in Temper Tantrum that have worked with us on set, but in terms of filming, but they were the talent for this segment, and we didn't want to take away that focus, because it's hard to be both the talent and be in talent and in production as well, because your minds are now split. So we'd much rather have had them just do the thing, be the talent, while we got it. It wasn't too hard. Like, it's not like we had to be heavily involved the whole time holding a camera. It's just we had to make sure that that things didn't overheat, that things that required battery changes, change the batteries, or memory card changes. One thing that I want to improve for that one is more like charging packs or little, so that way the Osmos and the other things don't die. We only had so many, and then trying to split that in between all of them, there's only so much we can do before they died. Last but not least is Ochacha. Nothing too big. The show, they're getting ready for their show. They have rehearsals this weekend, and the upcoming weekend's getting ready for their show on sometime in September for their maid show. They're also having auditions on September 7th for their butlers. So if you like anime and you have at least two years worth of dance experience, come through and audition. So lesson of the week. That's a hard one right now. I think the lesson this week is try to make sure you have time for recovery, because I'm going through a lot of different things simultaneously this week. It doesn't happen often. Since I've decided to take on a lot, the main thing is that I recover as well as possible to be able to perform in terms of filming, talking with clients, being able to dance, being able to lead a team. That way I'm not mentally foggy, because once you're in it, at least for me, speaking for myself, you're just in it. You got to focus. And when I'm in, and for me, knowing what's coming, I know I need to be at my best. So making sure that I have time to rest is key. Like during the rehearsals for Six Flags, I personally, like, even though we have breaks, I take a nap, because I know what's coming and I know what I need to do of my body. We're learning a lot of routine. We learned what, 4 numbers in 2 days, 3 days. So we're learning a lot fast, and these pieces are not easy. And then because it's and learning that fast means you're taking on a whole. It's very mentally and physically demanding. So to help all that through the rehearsals, I take naps, and it honestly helps. But the other days, sleep. So that's it for me. Like, nothing too philosophical. It's fairly practical. Just being in the midst of everything. Rest is the difference maker. Being able to do everything, and then I can go on and on about how to operate all that, but the key difference maker has been rest. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna work a little bit more before I sleep some more.